Hello and welcome back to Monster Mask Mayhem with this guy. That guy? Who? Me? Somebody. Yes, welcome back to Monster Mask Mayhem. And before we get into today's mask, I would like to share the news that as of me recording this episode right now, Ozzy Osbourne passed away early today, and yeah, I thought my coworker was pulling a prank on me, and we looked online, and he died. I had known that he'd been pretty ill for quite a bit, but I mean, the guy just had a farewell tour like 2 weeks ago, and then he drops dead, and it's like, well, geez. I mean, I kind of wish he would have had maybe a couple more weeks or a month left. Like a month left in him. But well, I guess somebody had other plans. Whatever god you like. um, See, isn't this cool? Isn't the world diverse? We all have different gods. It's polytheistic, but well, anyway. Either way, yeah, he planned on making more music, but he ended up dying, of course, today. And well, this episode was gonna have nothing to do with him actually, because I don't have any masks of Ozzy Osbourne or any of his characters that he played in any of his music videos. But since he called himself the Prince of Darkness, I thought maybe I could dedicate today's episode to him and talk about another Prince of Darkness. No, not Dracula, but the other one. El Diablo, as they say in Spanish-speaking countries, or the devil. And yes, this actually is the devil, if you don't know. This isn't a goat with cataracts and a bad sunburn. No, this is actually a devil. Specifically, this is the Hellfire Beast by Amscan, but more specifically than that, it's Baphomet. So for all of you occultists out there, you're probably looking at this and you know, oh, that's Baphomet. Yeah. Why they don't call him Baphomet, I don't know. They call him Hellfire Beast. I mean, it's a cool name, but it's not like Baphomet is like, it's not like when they make a Frankenstein mask and they just call it Monster or Lab Monster. It's like, well, the character is public domain. The character was not made by Universal. It was made by Mary Shelley. So, in the novel is in the public domain. It's been that way for many, many years. Or when they make Dracula masks and they just call him Vampire. It's like, well, Dracula also is in the public domain. That's a Bram Stoker character, I don't know why they don't call him Baphomet. They call him Hellfire Beast. Yeah, so this guy was made by Amscan. I don't know what year he was released. He's fairly recent because I don't remember seeing this guy until about maybe, I want to say 2022, I think, or 23. So he's fairly recent. He's not that old. Well, I don't really have much to say about this guy except for the fact that, well, I could probably give you a little history lesson. I was actually researching Amscan because I don't know much about them. So Amscan actually was a division of Party City, the late great Party City, which actually is back. Yeah, that's kind of weird. They, like, in February 2025, this year, they laid off like a lot of their employees, and they announced that they were going out of business. And then as early as like last month, or as late as last month, I guess, they opened back up, and now it's just independently owned or franchise owned Party City stores that are open. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on with that, but well, Amscan, like I said, is a division of Party City, and Amscan, I believe. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Party City closed down, so I mean, I'm sure Amscan probably went bankrupt too. But they make or made a lot of party stuff like balloons and costumes and masks like this. I actually have another Amscan product. Maybe I'll get to that next week. Um, yeah, it's a werewolf. It's that one I was talking about in my first episode, that I said I bought a new one to replace the old Fun World one I had. And that this one's a lot thicker casting and, you know, looks different. But yeah, so Amscan, well, like I said, I don't know much about them except for the fact that they make anything that Party City sells is, usually stuff from Amscan. Not everything Party City sells, obviously, but just most of the stuff. Their brand. Kind of, like how Walmart has great value. That's a Walmart brand. Kind of like that. Amscan is kind of the kind of like that kind of brand for Party City. Well, and as you can see, it's a pretty cool looking goat with some very creepy eyes, and the light I feel like is kind of washing out some of the paint. So I'm gonna do my best to describe all the details. So there's actually yellow going around his eyes. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, there's some yellow going around his eyes. His eyes are white actually. Um, Actually, with the yellow paint, they kind of look off white. And as you can see, he's mostly red, but he's got black on the mouth, on the nose, and the ears, and he's got black sheep fur. Um, he's got big horns, and the horns are actually filled, but they're not foam filled. They're actually filled with I don't know what the name of it is. Like in teddy bears or like stuffed animals, like those like really thin like little strands. I guess they're polyester fibers, I guess is what they call them. But yeah, like those like little like kind of clear strand filling that they fill stuffed animals with. That's actually what's in here. Um, but yeah, if you squeeze it feels like it's like foam filled or something, like it's foam filled latex. And this is a latex mask, by the way. Um, and the eye holes are actually right in the corner of his eyes, kind of on his nose as well. I actually wore this for Halloween last year, and seeing out of this thing is not great. I said it in my last video when I talked about my gruesome Frankenstein, which is over there in my shelf out of camera range. Now, I like masks that have sculpted in eyes, but the problem is I prefer masks that have more open eye sockets, because I always have a hard time seeing out of masks that have eyes molded in with the mask, and they have like a cut above the eye and they have like net in it. Actually, this has net in it too. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm gonna try to, yeah, see my finger in there. Yeah, see the kind of mesh they use. It's like a jersey material, like a sports jersey. Like when you're in gym class and they make you put on a colored jersey, like when you play dodgeball or something. Yeah, it's like that material. But no, I actually wore this last year for Halloween, and I could not see out of it. And yeah, and the other problem is that the horns don't stay up. But I think that was because of the way that this mask was packaged, and the way that the tag was positioned on here, because it was actually attached with plastic. It was like little hard plastic fasteners with a hang tag. And I should probably mention how I know that the horns are filled with that fiber stuff, because when I took the tag off the mask, off the horns, a little bit of the fibers came out. So I took like a little pencil, like a mechanical pencil or something. I just popped them back in. But yeah, like I said, seeing out of this is not very good. I mean, really, I wouldn't really so much buy it as a mask, like to wear. I would probably like use it as like a display piece if you have like a whole like Satanism, um, you know, shrine or something. I don't know. Like if you're into the occult, and um, yeah, this could be good on a mannequin, or you could wear it. I don't know. And well. So yes, you might notice, for some of you people out there, why am I talking about Baphomet? Who the hell is Baphomet? No pun intended. Get it? Hell? Alright. But some of you are probably wondering, so who is Baphomet? Why are you bringing up the devil and all this? I don't remember the devil looking like a goat. Well, you see, Baphomet is actually a version of the devil. Now, the devil most people think of, obviously, looks like kind of like, like a red goblin with horns and like the tail and the pitchfork and the kind of 1920s vaudeville villain mustache and the goatee and the little Dracula style widow's peak. Yeah, sometimes with the cloven hooves. But but no, there are some you know satanic groups like the one I was actually in for a little bit. I'm not a Satanist anymore, but because I left, I don't know, I didn't like being a Satanist. It seemed like those the people that I was talking to were just kind of kind of full of themselves, and their arrogance kind of got in the way. And I don't like arrogant people. I think arrogance is one of the things ruining this country right now. And well, I'm not going to divulge on that. I don't want to go into politics. But anyway, so yeah, so there are some satanic groups like the Satanic Temple that or even the original Satanist group, the Church of Satan, depict the devil as having a goat head and calling him Baphomet. And actually, the history of Baphomet is quite interesting because he actually was. A lot of scholars think that he was created in the times of the Templar Knights, and that they actually believed in him. Like he was like I don't know if he was like a devil character to them, but along the way somehow, somewhere, somebody decided this goat-headed creature should be a demon and associate him with hell and Satanism and the devil and all this and that. I think it was probably Anton LaVey. I don't know, but either way, yeah, this guy's got a rich history. So if you want to look up Baphomet, yeah, just look him up and read all about him. And well, I should mention how you breathe out of this thing because it is so big. There are holes in the nostrils and in the mouth. The one in the mouth is kind of tiny. See, I'm sticking my finger in there, and yeah. So I mean, breathing is not going to be too great. Hearing is not going to be too great. There's no holes in the ears. Um, it's a pretty large mask. So actually, your eyes. I mean, well, the way it's designed, yeah, your eyes would kind of line up with the corners of his eyes, but see, he's got like this big kind of like snout, so it kind of like it comes like down to here, and it kind of hangs off your face a little bit. So yeah, not yeah, I had to keep propping this thing up my head, and the horns, because they're latex, they flail around, like when you run around, like oh. So if you want to like like if you're doing like a haunted house and you have a like a Satanist altar or something like that, and you have this character in it, and you don't want the horns to jiggle, like if he chases people, you could probably cut a hole in the mask. I don't know if you could tell. This is a half mask, by the way. And oh, I should probably mention this too, because I think that's kind of cool when mask makers do this. But yeah, I can't really get it to show very well on the camera. But trust me, there's actually a piece of foam like right in the forehead, so that it kind of stays on your face. And that's pretty deluxe. And oh, I lost my train. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was yeah, if you don't want the horns to be doing that, waving and shaking around, you could cut the bottoms of the horns from inside the mask, and take all the stuffing out, and maybe put more dense stuffing in there, because they are blocked off actually. If you actually do buy one of these and you look inside, yeah, it's blocked off so that the stuffing isn't falling out of the horns. So yeah, and like I said, this is a Party City piece. Now that Party City's back in business, well, actually, I don't know if they sell this guy anymore because they did come back, but now they seem to be selling birthday party stuff. So your best bet would probably be Amazon or eBay, even. Excuse me. I had dinner earlier tonight, and I'm burping and hiccuping like crazy. So you'll have to pardon me on that. But anyway, yeah. So your best bet would probably look on eBay or Amazon for this guy. I'm trying to remember how much I paid for him. I didn't pay a whole lot. It was like $20, $25, maybe 30. I want to say. This actually was the very last thing I ever bought from Party City before they closed. And I bought this in like September or October of 2024. So, yeah. So this was like a few months before they announced their bankruptcy and before they closed. So, yeah, and also the cool thing about this kind of character is you can dress him up any way you want, really. Now, because he is a devil character, what I wore when I used this guy as my mask for my costume, I actually bought a brown hooded robe, kind of like a friar robe or a monk robe. That would be friar as in Friar Tuck, by the way. Not friar like air fryer, but if you're familiar with Robin Hood, yeah, that kind of friar. Friar, like Friar Tuck. Yeah, so I bought like a brown hooded robe to wear with it, and it kind of made him look like a goat-headed monk, I mean, it still made him look demonic, but it was cool looking, I I keep thinking I probably should have wore a necklace that had a pentagram on it, Maybe that's what maybe I'll buy one so that if I ever go as Baphomet again, I'll wear it. They kind of emphasize his Satanism, his satanic power, I guess. Well, I know I said I didn't have a lot to say about this guy, but, well, I say that, then I end up going on and on and on. So, like I said, he is called the Hellfire Beast, made by Amscan Company. Wait, what was that? Amscan Company. Must have been something in my steak. Well, this whole video is a mistake. I get it? Yeah, like it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's the Hellfire Beast by Amscan Company. Goes for about $20 to $25, I believe, last time I looked. And, yeah, like I said, it's a cool devil character, even if you don't know he's a devil. I mean, you could use him, if you're into, like, cryptids, he could be the, like the Pope Lick monster. If you're from that neck of the woods, which I think is Kentucky, I think. Actually, there's a lot of goat men. Like, there's the one in Maryland, one in Kentucky, and there's another one somewhere else. And, there's a lot of urban legends about him. One was a Satanist, one was a farmer, one was a circus freak, and there's one that says that he was a scientist that got mutated into a goat creature. Yeah. So you could customize this and make it just like a generic goat monster instead of a demon goat. But, yeah. Alright. Well, that's it for today's video. But before I end this lengthy video, I would like to dispel some rumors about Satanism. Because it's still something that, to this day, is very misunderstood. And so, like I said, I was a Satanist for a little bit. Only about like less than a week, really. And before you're wondering, no, I'm not a Christian. I'm actually an atheist. But yeah, I haven't been a Christian since I was like a little kid. So yeah, I'm pretty atheist. But actually, and that's another point I was going to make too, is that a lot of people seem to think that Satanism is about, meeting up in the woods, in the dark of the night, and, sacrificing, people to the devil and having blood orgies and all this and that, and it's baloney. It really is. That's the kind of stuff they talk about in movies and they show in movies, but it's not like that. Satanism is actually largely a very atheist religion, and it's actually pretty different than what people think Satanism is. if anything, Satanism kind of mocks Christianity and it mocks religion. Um, so when people say "Hail Satan," they're not. It doesn't mean like, "Oh, I've sold my soul to the devil." Um, it's kind of their way of like when people say "Amen," "Oh, praise Jesus," that kind of thing. So really, Satanists are mocking Christians and other religious people. Um, I wouldn't say that they're satire, but because Satanism is like a legitimate um, religion that the government actually recognizes and hates. Oh my God, the government hates Satanism. But yeah. But the point I'm trying to get here is, just be careful. Like when you hear about something that you don't fully understand, don't be spreading rumors about it. Don't be lying to people. Oh, Satanism's evil. Really? Oh, well, I only heard about it. It's like, well, you really should not be saying stuff if you don't know for certain. You know. Because gee, sure is a shame that the internet's free and libraries still exist. Otherwise, you could look that up and find out for yourself. And YouTube, oh, don't get me started on YouTube. Oh, I can't afford YouTube because it's free. Good God, people. Anyway, so the point is, don't be spreading lies you don't understand. Don't be afraid of anything you don't understand. That's another one too. Don't be afraid of things you're not fully sure of. Just look into it. You're not gonna summon a demon if you look up Satanism. If you actually do your homework and you look up, what Satanism is, and what it actually is like, and you read interviews from Satanists and you watch videos about it, you'll probably you might even like it. You might actually be a Satanist if it tickles your fancy. Well, all right. Oh my God, this is almost half an hour long. All right, I really got to end this. All right, so thanks for watching this episode of Monster Mask Mayhem, and I'll catch you guys next time. Like and subscribe, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Okay, all right. See ya.